Welcome to the War on Wellness. I am Penny, your host, also known as Plant Based Penny, and I am here Wednesdays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Say hello, and I look forward to working with you. I look forward to talking with you. I look forward to learning with you. Today's topic is lowering blood pressure naturally. How to lower blood pressure and how to do it naturally. So, thank you for all those who are checking in on my Facebook pages, my Facebook group, my Facebook page and my personal page on Facebook. So great to see you there. Also, thank you to those who are watching over on YouTube. I see you as well. Wonderful. Nice to have you. So, I want to say that this topic is like really important to me, and it is a very important topic that is important that we share, especially in our community, because it is called the silent killer. So, I wanted to ask you, so how many people do you think have been diagnosed or have high blood pressure? If you just look at, well, not how many, but what percentage of people? So do you think it's 25% of people in the United States or 50%? Put which number you think it is down in the chat. Which one do you think it is? Is it 25% or 50%? We're talking about how to lower blood pressure today here on the War on Wellness. So I wanted to just share with you that I am really passionate about this particular subject because it affected my family in a very significant way. And I may not be the only one out there who has had that happen. And so we're talking about lowering blood pressure naturally. And so let me say this at the beginning. If you're taking blood pressure medicine, do not stop taking the medicine just because you heard information from me or whoever. Make sure that you are having your doctor take you off of medicine. Once you've been able to lower your blood pressure naturally, and you go to your doctor and they see the indicators and see your blood pressure readings, then you let them take you off of the medicine. Is that okay? Very good. Very good. And so to answer the question, how many people? Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing 25, I'm seeing 50s. Very good. So the answer is actually 50% of adults in the United States have high blood pressure, and only 1 in 4 of those have it under control. So that's actually a very low number of people who actually have it in control. So the question for you is, do you know anyone with high blood pressure? And yes, you can count yourself if you're in that number. Put a yes in the chat if you know someone with high blood pressure, a no if you do not know anyone with high blood pressure. And so the question is, high blood pressure is also referred to as hypertension. So if you're told that you have hypertension, it's the same thing. So that is when the blood is pumping with force in your arteries that's larger than normal. So a greater force than normal going through your arteries. And so that added stress can lead to clogging of the arteries. And that clogging of the arteries, they call it arteriosclerosis. And so the arteries become stiffer. It decreases the blood flow in your arteries, and it decreases the oxygen to your heart. And we have to have oxygen in our heart, because if not, it leads to heart disease. And heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. Actually, the #1 cause for people visiting the emergency room, just broadly across the world, is because of heart incidences. That's the #1 reason that people go to the emergency room. And so let me just share with you just a little bit of education piece of this, is that for when you take your blood pressure, and hopefully you take your blood pressure, hopefully if you're an adult and you're watching this, you have a a blood pressure cuff at home, maybe, and you're using that to be able to share whether or not you are, even if you're in Kiel or wherever you may be. Hello, Jamil. Hello, you do Emma. Hello, Francis. All of you, good to see you following and watching today. So when you take your blood pressure, then you know whether or not you are in the range of normal or you're not. So let me just share that with you first. So first, the first number when you take your high blood pressure is the systolic blood pressure, and that's the pressure in your arteries when your heart beats. That's just the pressure in your arteries when the heart beats. The diastolic blood pressure blood pressure is the second number, and that is the pressure in your arteries when your heart rests. And so high blood pressure, it used to be, when my dad had high blood pressure, the ranking, or what was outside of normal, was 140 over 90, and now it is 130 over 80 is considered high blood pressure, especially if you have a history of cardiovascular disease, or if there is a high risk of cardiovascular events in your particular wellness. And it is important that we know. It's important. I mean, if you there are some people who don't go to the doctor. If you don't go to the doctor, buy the blood pressure cuff, or go to the stores that have a little machines where you stick your arm in and you can get a reading. At least have some idea where you are. Now, if I'll ask you, if you want to be brave, do you know what your blood pressure is? Put that in the comments if you know what your blood pressure is, or if you're sharing enough, if you don't mind sharing what it is. So the one thing to remember, the reason is they call it the silent killer is because it does not have symptoms. There are no symptoms. Now, here is a caveat to that. If your blood pressure is dangerously high, then you may have symptoms. So, unless your blood pressure is dangerously high, you will not have any symptoms of high blood pressure. If it is dangerously high, there may be something your body's going to indicate to you that something is not right. And that is another reason why we should pay attention to our bodies and not just ignore it and pop a pill. Realize what is normal for you and what is not. So, chronically high stress levels, inadequate sleep, all those can contribute to high blood pressure. And so, what are the ways that we can avoid it or lower it? One of the key ways, hey, I'm plant-based, Bunny, and I'm just going to tell it to you as it is. And one of the key ways is going to be diet. Yes, it is definitely going to be diet. And, you know, people say to me, and it may say to you too, that, hey, I'm going to die of something. I'm going to die of something. I might as well just eat whatever it is that I can eat and drink whatever it is that I can drink because I'm going to die of something, right? Well, okay, here's the thing. So, my mother in law just celebrated her 91st birthday. Hey, she's still caring for herself. She's still cooking and she's still driving. And, yes, what I say to those people is, yes, you're going to die of something, but why die before your time? I mean, I might not be here next week for the broadcast for all I know, but I'm going to live each day to the fullest in the ability that I have in this God-given body so that I can live out my purpose in life. And so it's important that, yes, we may, provided Jesus doesn't come first, die at some point. But we want to go into old age, and hey, I'm going into 60 next month, and I'm not calling that old age, but we want to go into aging with abilities and less disabilities. Okay. So diet is going to be one of those. And I hate the word diet. Okay. I really don't like the word diet because it has a connotation of being something that is short term. But let me just talk about the standard American diet, the SAD American diet, SAD, standard American diet. And that is a diet with things that we want to avoid, like the breads and the rolls and the poultry and the meat, and the fast foods, and a lot of the packaged foods that we have, snack foods, pretzels, all those things. We want to make sure that we get rid of, and we want to add hydration. Now, hydration, okay, this is not coffee, by the way. We want to add hydration in the form of water. And I actually just posted a video of me drinking coconut water in Costa Rica when I lived there. So we need to stay hydrated because the hydration is going to add to the flow of our blood. It's going to help our bodies be overall healthy, and also a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. So, how many of you have a garden? I have a garden. I have a garden outside, just a small garden, but I'm growing my own fruits. Well, no, not fruits. Well, tomato is a fruit. So I'm growing fruits and vegetables, just peppers, tomatoes, and some other things that I'm growing. But a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. And it's interesting that people say, oh man, eating a healthy diet is just too expensive. I can't do that. Well, I was hungry the other day while I was traveling. And so I stopped at the grocery store to pick up something to eat. Now, I could have picked up a bag of, I don't know, Cheetos or something, uh, but I did not. I picked up a banana. It's like 14 cents, 14 cents or something. So, I don't know, maybe you can buy something fast food for 14 cents. I don't shop at fast food restaurants. You can let me know if you can or not. But I know that the purchases that I make, the choices that I make today are going to influence the choices that I have tomorrow, whether I'm gonna have the choice to travel, whether I'm going to have the choice to move without pain, whether I'm going to have the opportunity to think with clarity in my mind. So when I say diet, I'm talking about making a choice right here today. So, and sometimes that has delayed gratification. So maybe we need to leave out some of those foods that we currently have in, or that we've learn from our childhood and break some of those generational cycles. Somebody say generational cycles in the chat because they are definitely something that influences our thought processes here today. How can we reduce our blood pressure? One is through diet. The second way I'm going to talk with you about is exercise. Okay. People say, well, I can't do anything about high blood pressure because it runs in my family. My close family relatives had it. My parents have it. My aunties and uncles, they have high blood pressure. So, hey, I'm going to have high blood pressure. It's just natural because everybody has it. And everybody sits around talking about, yeah, mine is so and so. And yeah, I'm taking this pill. What pill are you taking? It's just a normal part of life in some families. And so, it's important to realize that you can break that generational cycle. It does not have to run in your family legacy starting with you. And so lifestyle choices can reduce your risk of high blood pressure, and exercise is one of those. And I'm talking about exercise because I am so challenged with the exercise piece. Oh my goodness. I do very well at I'm just being transparent. I do very well at eating properly, but I need to get back to the exercise. Okay. I can admit it. First step in correcting a problem is admitting that you have a problem. So I'm admitting that I am going to start and be better at that starting tomorrow, actually. And so, exercise. So, maintaining a healthy weight and exercise has a large impact on reducing your blood pressure. And that's consistent exercise. I don't have high blood pressure, but I know that my father passed because of complications from high blood pressure, which led to his cardiovascular disease. And my mother had high blood pressure. My mother's still alive, but she's corrected that. My brother had high blood pressure. He's corrected that with weight loss and diet. so I know that personally that it can be properly affected by changing our lifestyle. So a significant weight loss can decrease your systolic blood pressure by 5 to 20 points. And so exercise for 20 to 30 minutes every day can reduce your blood pressure by 49 points systolic again. So you can definitely get your blood pressure down by the exercise. So, do you exercise? I'm curious, what exercise do you do? Are you a runner? My husband's a runner. Are you a what a jump roper? Are you a Zumba class participant? I love exercise classes. So, which one are you? Which one is your favorite? So, exercise also reduces stress. So chronic stress can increase our blood pressure, and we want to lower our blood pressure. Those are just two ways, very simple ways that you can lower your blood pressure and do it naturally. And so I'm going to come back. I said I was only going to do it for this week and talk about high blood pressure, but I determined and being led to actually do it for a longer period of time. So I'm going to talk about it again next week so I can continue this with part 2 on how to lower your blood pressure naturally. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see, do I have a question? Okay. My husband says he's not a runner. He's trying to get back into running. Hey, that works for me as well. Hey, you got to start somewhere. Start today because we only have this one life to live. And so I thank you for joining me today on Lowering Blood Pressure. This is Plant Based Penny. We'll see you next week at 6 o'clock p.m. on the War on Wellness. Bye bye.